3 days have gone by since I did my last video about the four teens in Chicago who beat and tortured the mentally disabled man. Just recently, I found a story about three white teens who basically did the same thing. I never heard about the story. This story it comes out of Idaho, and just recently, the students weren't charged. One of the students was basically given 3 years probation. Beating and torture is one thing. That's horrible. And I still will not change my stance on, those kids in Chicago should be charged for what they did, which they should. However, when you look at the situation in Idaho, you're talking about a case of not beating, it's a hate crime, and you also had a rape, and then you had one of the students shove a hanger into the mentally disabled kid's anus. I mean, far more heinous act than what happened in Chicago. And like I said, I'm not making any excuse for the kids in Chicago. Both of them are wrong, and both of them need to be dealt with accordingly. But I can guarantee you this: the kids in Chicago, they will have the book thrown at them, and if not, placed under the jail for what they did. The kids in Idaho got 3 years probation after raping a fellow teammate, okay? 3 years probation, and not even, they won't even have to register as a sex offender, because the court felt it was not appropriate for them to register them as a sex offender. Trying to see where I'm going. Both, they're 18 years old. They didn't get charged with a hate crime. In the incident, they called this, it's three white teens, and they did this to a black student, a black football team member who's mentally ill, or, mentally disabled. They called him names like Kool-Aid. They called him Chicken Eater, Watermelon. They called him a nigger, okay? They displayed Confederate flags, and they made him sing the song Notorious KKK. I don't know what other elements you need to qualify a crime as being a hate crime. I don't know what needs to be done. I don't know what kind of acts needs to be shown. I don't know what kind of words need to be said to justify something as a hate crime. But for them to get off with 3 years probation, okay, for a heinous act, they should be doing some serious time, okay? Justice is not served in this situation. You can argue this if you want. I don't know how you would argue this. But when you say that there is a difference in America between, racial differences, and there's a different treatment between whites and blacks, this ain't the first, this is not the first case of racial inequality, of course. But it's like, damn, it's kind of like blatant the way they do shit, okay? I don't want to hear shit about Donald Trump or whatever. This has nothing even to do with Donald Trump. He ain't gonna save shit. He ain't gonna make nothing better again. This has been going on forever, and this is, what people try to address and people turn a blind eye to. You should watch the clip and decide for yourself. Okay, both acts. Like I said, I'm not defending the kids in Chicago. I'm not saying what they did was right. I'm not even saying that they should get off the hook. But if you're going to serve justice, they should serve it. Courts are going to be run. If this system's going to be run off a court system and the law is the law, then the law should be the law everywhere. And there should be some kind of line that says, this is right, this is wrong, these are the consequences for everybody.
A situation so tense, students on school buses escorted by law enforcement to a nearby LDS church. The Dietrich School District receiving more than 150 calls and emails from across the nation, some of them threatening in nature, after news of the sexual assault broke. 3 white football players charged with raping a fellow player who is black and mentally disabled. And when an unidentified black female was spotted in the school and ignored a teacher's request to leave, the school went on lockdown. Are you feeling safe right now in Dietrich?
As far as the lockdown situation, yeah. As far as the other part, no.
I would later learn, after our on-camera interview, that the other part this mother referred to was the reported sexual assault against her adopted son. As she confirmed to me, she is his mother.
There are some really nice people here, but a lot of people that are really angry.
As she is telling me how her family moved to Dietrich for her husband's teaching job, this happens. And just steps away from where we were standing and from nearby law enforcement. An example, she says, of some of the anger directed at her. And the whole time, this mother holding the hands of 2 of her other adopted children.
People can be mean all they want and they can do what they want, but the truth is the truth.
Telling what this mother says is the truth is what seems to have this town divided. One neighbor saying part of the town is upset and believes the charges should not have been made public and that this should have been handled by the parents and the LDS Church. The boys' race, a trending topic on social media, doesn't seem to come up in conversation around town. So I asked.
I know some people probably think that maybe it's the color of skin. I would like to think not. But it has everything to do with your athletic ability. If you're not athletic or you don't come from certain families, then you're sunk.
The mother would later explain more to me off camera, saying her son was weaker than the other players and never seemed to make the cut. She tells me now he's doing okay, and he graduated from Dietrich School on Monday.
There are good and bad people here, but you can't mistreat people and get away with it, and that's definitely what I want them to know. It won't happen. I won't allow it. You can't coerce people into saying things they shouldn't. You should let people tell the truth.
It even amazes me as, they're doing the interview with the mother and how the truck drives by and blows his smoke from his muffler, just basically showing you the mentality of the town, and it's sickening to know that this is 2016 and this is the treatment that people still endure in this day and age. And like I said, people turn a blind eye. We all want it to be better. Everybody wants to pretend it's better. Okay? But it ain't. And it's a terrible thing, and I think it's probably never going to go away. Especially in the era that we're about to enter. I think things are going to get a lot worse. Donald Trump, the vision of America, it's going backwards, big time. Quick, fast, in a hurry, we're going backwards. And I hope to see, some unification. But I think there's a lot of barriers between that too. I think there's more than just racial barriers, and you have, religious barriers. There's a lot of barriers in America. You can say you're American and we bleed one, red, white, and blue, and you can be patriotic because you want to be, but still everybody has a hate bone in them. And until people figure out how to diffuse whatever hate is in their system, we won't get rid of it. And even if one gets rid of it, you still got people teaching it to their kids. That's why we are in this situation today. Because those people, racist people back in the day, it's not like they just went away. They still exist, and they just passed that mentality down to their kids, okay? And like I said, not all white people are bad. They're not. That's just a fact. And you have to understand, though, that there still are those great few people in America who have that backward ass 1960 mentality and before, should I say 1980, 70 and before mentality. This mentality has never gone away. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's sickening. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. No kid should ever have to endure being raped and having his anus penetrated with a hanger, whether it's a hate crime or not. Rape is rape. I'm pretty sure he didn't, lay down and say, stick this in me, and he was violated. And those kids need to be dealt with just like these kids are going to be dealt with in Chicago. This unfairness between racial blacks and whites needs to end. And I don't know what needs to be done. I don't know who needs to be fired. I don't know what laws need to be rewritten, but something needs to be done to where this is addressed and this is corrected once and for all.